this app is going to be a little bit complex because it involves both an iPad version, if you go that route, or a phone, an iPhone version, and a computer program, but they link up. So the app itself is called Notability. The icon looks like, you can see the little blue down there. Now I've taken the liberty of already having it open. So Notability is useful for a few things. It is a really good note-taking app. I actually use it when I go to classes myself. I use my iPad generally to take notes, but you can certainly use it on a computer. I mean, I'll show you generally things it does. So when you have it open, it's nice because it organizes a lot of your things. So you can set up both dividers. Let me just move this, but dividers, which are like school notes, and then you can have folders or subjects within that. So I've got here SPICE workshops. Those are some professional development things I've gone to. And things of that nature. So let me make this a little bit bigger here. So anyway, now, when you go to a note, it can look like this. Let me just show you notes that I took using this, typing this in. This was on my computer or my iPad. But you can see the handwriting we'll talk about in a bit. But basically, it's got nice text tools, so you can indent, do some tricks like that. So let's, for example, if I were going to go make a new note, I would go up to File, and let's take a new note, and then here. Now it does have some settings where you can actually put paper in there. So I can go like, hello, this is a test note. And you have different settings that you can do. You can format the font, you can make your text, you can indent. It's got different typing. You can highlight text, etc. Now, other things you can do, though, if you want to open a PDF, okay, an existing PDF, you could go to this. You could go to Import, okay, and then I'm going to go find the file that I want here, which is here, and so this is the Chapter 1 of the AMSCO book. So once it opens, you can see here. Now you can then do lots of different options. You could highlight text, again, and it kind of works like a handwriting thing. So you maybe want a drawing tablet, or you can, again, add text boxes if you wish. And you can change font colors and things of that nature. And then here are your various text tools over here with this little paintbrush. Change different fonts. So it has some uses. Some other nice things it does, though, you could audio record. So for example, let's go back to my blank note. Let's say that a teacher was giving a lecture. Well, you could record and you could say, okay, yes. So you could be recording this. Now the interesting thing with this is it will link up what is being said to what was being recorded. So later, if you want to go to a particular section of your notes, it will take you to the right spot of your typed text. So that I have always found useful. You can certainly close the sidebar if you like. Anyway, and there's various other tools here. So on the computer, it definitely has its uses. But I'll show you some of the mobile version. But let me show you back to that text audio thing. So if I go to one of my old classes, this was a workshop I went to on World War I, okay, at the World War I Museum. And close my sidebar. Now, watch this. If I go to access my old recording, watch what it's going to do. So what it will do is, this is the note I took, and so if I fast forward along my audio recording, it brings up what I was writing at the time I was recording. Now again, I did this on my iPad, but if you're typing on a Mac, it does this the same way. So let me play a little bit and you can hear maybe what it says.
Sovereignty is no sovereignty at all. Somebody has to have a monopoly on the legitimate use of physical force. Russia is the land. He reorganized silences. I just described the one in their family.
So again, that can certainly be useful for depending on what you want to do. Okay, so we're now on my iPad, and you can't see the Apple Pencil I'm using, but you can also do this with a regular stylus, your finger, and there's an app for the phone. But basically, I've got my dividers here, depending on what I was doing, and it's really useful for taking notes. Every time I go to a workshop, I prefer taking notes on this, but I like to handwrite them myself because I find I remember more. So let me just show you what that would look like. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a new note. Okay. Now, one of the nice things you can do, you can change the paper. So say you want narrow lines, or if you wanted graph paper, you could do that. Say you want a paper color, although I usually don't. You can do that. And then you just kind of pick your tools. So if you're a typer, you can certainly go here and you can begin typing. It's got some nice indent tools. It lets you do bullets and numbering if you prefer to do that. But for myself, this is where I really enjoy Notability, is again the handwriting element. So I can pick my pen tool, and then what really makes it useful is this little plus in the corner. So then I get a zoom box for my text. So I could then write in the box. And you can see that then it is translating that. Now, I have a few things I can do. I can make the box bigger if I would like. And then when I get to the end, if I do a line here, it slides the box along. If I want to go down, I can push the return button and it will show me that. Or if I choose, I can just pinch and zoom and just take notes the old-fashioned way. Now again, this can be useful because you can add things like that. Now other ways it can be useful, especially again if you're listening to a lecture. Let me show you some ones that I did. So I went to an NEH workshop. This was on actually farming equipment of all things, in a workshop in Detroit. And I think it was this one. And so one of the things it lets you do is, I was recording this lecture, of course, and so as you see, if I scroll along, it brings up what was handwriting. But it also gives you this nice feature to go find like web clips, or you could take a picture of what was on the board, which is what I was doing in this particular lecture, and then I could circle them. Or it has a feature called a web clip, where you can actually then go access something. So anyway, just all kinds of different things. You could add video clips, etc. And again, the more I scroll along. So I have found this a really great way to take notes. And the nice thing is, again, with iCloud backup turned on, I do this on my iPad and it will show up on my. So just to be complete here, so just to be complete here, I thought I would show you what Notability looks like on an iPhone. So I'm recording my iPhone screen here. So I keep Notability here. And it's not as good, but it's still pretty good. And if nothing else, it will let you access notes that you have. So you can see here, it's loading the notes that I had, including the ones I made elsewhere early in the videos. And then basically you can bring up a note. So this is a PDF version of your textbook. And again, it lets you do most of the tools. The interface is a little bit different. You could still write if you like, if you have a stylus. Screen's a little small. It does give you that zoom screen, however, for writing. So you can do that if you like. And then close that. And you can go back to text. Anyway, you can see different notes that you had. It will record things. So maybe you find that helpful. And again, it's, I keep it in both places. So my iPad, my iPhone, and my computer.